So see, it's very unfortunate that, when you were into recovery and you started working on yourself, that we did not have much support systems or the right treatment facilities for this. But the most important thing that we need to understand is that anything that we put inside our body, let it be alcohol or drugs or food, it is bound to have some impact on our body, on our brain, on this whole system. मतलब आप सब लोगों ने पहाड़ों में वो पगडंडियां देखी हुई हैं, तो वो रास्ते तो होते नहीं है एक्चुअली में. वो रास्ते भेड़ बकरियां उस पे चलती रहती हैं और वो रास्ते बनते चले जाते हैं. So similarly, when you are taking any substance regularly, so there are certain reward circuits and paths which are built in your brain.
Right.
And now these paths are the reasons, why people keep going back to it. So that is why we call addiction as a disease from a scientific view, and it's not just a moral failure. Right? So जब हमारी बॉडी को उन पगडंडियों पे वहाँ पे चलने की आदत पड़ गई है, and when the person does not get that substance, so those reward circuits and our body in a general way react to not having that substance.
Right.
And the person can actually go to severe withdrawals, complications like seizures, and even people can have, heart attacks or even die.
Yeah,
people die also. And to tell you the truth, sir, पुराने गांव में या जगहों पे बहुत सारे लोग इसीलिए अफीम या ओपियोइड छोड़ते नहीं थे, क्योंकि उनको लगता था if I leave I might die just like another story that he had.
किस्सा सुना मैं.
Yes.
The doctors would not tell them to leave opium when
Yes.
they're having an operation because they would not recover.
Yes. Now we have so much of scientific backup, data, research, plus the medications that, just imagine anybody going for a surgery without an anesthesia.
Yeah.
Right? Can you imagine going to for a surgery without anesthesia? No, it's going to be very painful.
So we went through.
So you went through surgery without anesthesia. So here we are making it so easy for you that you won't realize that when you have come out of your detox period, right? वो detox इतना आसान हो गया है with the help of the right medications and combinations that the complications are almost negligible if the treatment and the medicines are used in the right way. And that is where, the role of the psychiatrist, when the treatment begins, is very important, because आपको assess करना है what is the severity of addiction. How much drug is he taking? Does he have any health issues like, kidney, heart, brain disorders? And the moment you have this picture, there is a treatment option available, which makes the journey so smooth, painless, easy, that the person is itself motivated to enter the next phase, which is the phase of spirituality.
So he said something that I just want to get to move forward a little bit on that. You see, if I feel that if the doctor does his role or the medicine does his role and it is not followed up immediately by the role of a 12-step program, that guy cannot survive.
Absolutely.
Because the 12-step program is going to then push him forward or push me forward.
Yes.
Into the real area that needs to be resolved.
Yes, sir.
Right now, what you're resolving is the liver, kidneys, heart, this, that, blood pressure, and maybe some failure of some organ.
Yes.
And what you're resolving is also what they're very scared of, withdrawals.
Yes.
We were very scared of them, but we had to bear them.
Yeah.
And I think this is a very important thing. If it is done in the manner that you are prescribing, that means if you are doing it in a manner that is conducive to doing it for the benefit of that person's recovery, then he will recover most probably.
Yes.
I'm saying most probably because there is never a guarantee.
Yeah, you're right.
So recovery is not a guaranteed process. Even your process cannot be guaranteed because we are all trying to work in a place where you are hoping that he grabs hold of something and starts to say well. And also because I think that once these two aspects combine, where we used to have maybe 5% recovery नहीं होती थी हमारी. If you note, अगर आप देखो, organizations में recovery rate बहुत low थी. आजकल आपके rehab से या any rehab that is doing a 12-step program, there is some recovery because they have been given the opportunity. So in fact, today I was talking to a member or a fellowship member who was saying, that what's the benefit of a rehab? I said, look at the kind of people you find in fellowships nowadays. In a 12-step program, वो लोग आ रहे हैं क्योंकि इनको मौका मिल गया to be able to stand up again without collapsing immediately.
Yeah.
So that is the benefit of having a medical, but then again, let me add a little something with that. It has to be a doctor जिसकी नियत डॉक्टर गर्ग जैसी क्योंकि नहीं, I'm not casting aspersions on anybody. Firstly, you have to be also well versed with what you're doing. You have to also have experience. There has to be sufficient experience, there has to be sufficient technical abilities,
Yeah.
and there has to be a lot of humaneness with it. It cannot be done with, a doctor cannot succeed
Yeah.
if they don't have these qualities also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think you guys are fortunate that there is a doctor who's willing to look at a matter from a perspective which is combining everything else and hoping for a miracle to take place by combining these two forces.
Yes.
And these two forces, once combined, is the only way that in our time, like I mentioned, we had maybe 5, I don't know percentage, I don't know because I never, but now you may have double that percentage. अच्छा younger lot आ गए हमारे जहन में तो या तो बुढ़ा हो के आना था या लाते पैर सारे खराब हो के आ रहे थे. So that was,
Yeah.
लोगों का हालत बहुत बुरी थी. आजकल आप देखो, I've seen people recovering or getting into recovery at a very young age, 20s, early 20s, maybe 21, 22, because this, and by the way, this can be a road forward which is got unlimited growth.
Yeah.
This combination, if you don't have biases, can be a growth for unlimited, it can be a way forward for unlimited growth because it is just started.
To that note only, just to add one thing, sir, तो किसी ने मुझसे सवाल पूछा कि is your rehab a luxury rehab? So उसमें मेरा आंसर यही था कि भाई, if in addiction you get the right treatment and the right approach, that is the biggest luxury.
Exactly.
Luxury in addiction does not mean that you have, the best of the infrastructure and the facilities. वो basic हम देते ही हैं.
Yeah.
But the first thing of a luxury in a process of recovery and rehabilitation is
एक और luxury का इसमें रूल है. डॉक्टर भी luxury अच्छा हो तो luxury हो जाएगी. डॉक्टर भी सही हो तो you will get, it will be luxurious treatment because you'll get recovered.
Yes.
Recovery आ जाएगी.
So the right treatment, right approach, managing these things and plus, the other things, that is, luxury when it comes
I am not very much for this supposed 7-star approach. If you give them sufficient, if you give them these 3 aspects of
Yes.
medical know-how, treatment and
Yes.
proper care, and give them a good basic facility to, comfortable facility to recover,
Yeah.
I think it's a good possibility.
Yes.
See, I don't think willpower has any role in this. People very often say to me that, Navin, you are a miracle because of your willpower. They don't understand that it is not willpower, it is something inside of me that is transformed.
Yeah.
And that transformation took place because I stayed away from that chemical or whatever I was consuming for a sufficient amount of time to start the process.
Yeah.
And I was directed to the right place. If I wasn't directed to the right place, the process wouldn't have continued. So willpower is actually, I don't even think most humans understand the term willpower.
Yeah.
I don't think that term has anything to do with recovery or what we sometimes say, white knuckle sobriety. But that is also not willpower. That is out of fear. That मैं फिर से ना उठाऊं. पर willpower तो किसी का होता ही नहीं. See, as far as in a 12-step literature, it is very clear. As far as chemical or whatever you're consuming, I have no willpower over it at all. Zero. I'm sure Dr. Garg and Vineet and we all know my will is actually second. So I don't have that will that can be utilized. So you can use any word, but that is not the correct. I have to follow a prescribed direction.
Yeah.
That is recovery. So prescription चाहिए.
Yes.
Prescription from him and prescription from me.
सबसे बड़ी मिसकंसेप्शन क्या है ना सर, सबसे बड़ी मिथ्या क्या है, ये किसने कहा है कि विल पावर रोज चलेगी और सालों साल चलेगी? आज मेरी विल पावर है कि मैं रोज सुबह उठ के 6 बजे जाऊंगा, एक्सरसाइज करूंगा. वो 3 दिन बाद मेरा मन नहीं कर रहा है, मेरी विल पावर नहीं है. तो इन एडिक्शन वी नीड समथिंग विच इज देयर एवरी डे. ये कहीं नहीं लिखा हुआ कि विल पावर हमेशा रहेगी. मेरी विल पावर है आज पहाड़ चढ़ने की, मैं आधा चढ़ गया, उसके बाद मुझे लगा यार दिक्कत हो रही है, मैं वापस आ जाऊंगा.
बिल्कुल सही.
सो ये जो विल पावर का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है ना सर, ये लोगों को गलत है कि विल पावर कैन जस्ट इनिशिएट, इट कैन स्टार्ट, लाइक यू सेड पहली सेकंड है वो, इट कैन जस्ट स्टार्ट द प्रोसेस. विल पावर कैन नेवर लीड यू टू रिकवरी फॉर द रेस्ट ऑफ योर लाइफ. सो व्हाट आई बिलीव इज दैट ये जो लोग सोचते हैं कि इसके अंदर विल पावर नहीं है इसलिए ये नहीं छोड़ पा रहा है, वो तो विल पावर तो आज है कल नहीं है, वो चेंज होती रहती है सर.
Willpower is a term. I think most humans don't even understand the term willpower.
Yeah.
It is something that is a very thrown about word,
Yeah.
which people don't seem to understand. मैं तो भाई I have seen जिसकी will second है वो तो सिर्फ उल्टे काम करेगा.
Yeah. Yeah.
अब ये भी कहना कि will क्या चीज़ है, there is no point in defining there.
Yes.
I would say that definition doesn't work. We don't even want to go there.
Yes.
We would like to go into medicine prescription, non-medicine prescription.
Another example to explain these people who talk about willpower नहीं है इसलिए नहीं छोड़ पा रहा. अब किसी की अगर फ्रैक्चर हो रखी तो क्या उसके अंदर कितनी भी विल पावर हो तो क्या वो दौड़ पाएगा? नहीं दौड़ पाएगा ना. सो इट इज नॉट अबाउट द विल पावर ट्रीटिंग द डिजीज काइंड ऑफ ए थिंग. वी नीड टू ट्रीट द राइट थिंग फर्स्ट एंड देन स्लोली एंड स्टेडली ही नीड्स लाइक जो हमारे फ्रेंड है विनीत, उन्होंने कहा कि विल पावर इज बीइंग अलोन एंड डूइंग थिंग्स अलोन, राइट? But when it comes about recovery, you need support, you need community, you need fellowship.
Yes.
So वहाँ पे will power का कोई रोल नहीं है. वहाँ पे the role is about the right support. And once you feel better, and you are ready to run, obviously then the rest of the things, take care of the recovery. सो रिकवरी जो है ना वो कोई इतना हार्श प्रोसेस नहीं है. एग्जाम्पल से बताता हूँ. देखो मैंने साइकिल चलाना सीखा, बहुत डरता था, बहुत बार गिरा, बहुत बार चोट लगी, और उसके बाद मुझे याद है कि मैं बिना हैंडल पकड़े भी मैंने साइकिल चलाया. So see, in the brain, in the body, in our lives, life is not static. Our body and our mind is not static, it is dynamic. हमने कभी नहीं कहा कि रिकवरी इज इजी. रिकवरी इज डिफिकल्ट, बट ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ टाइम एज यू वर्क विद द 12-step program, as you work with community and your support systems, it becomes a reflex. सुबह उठ के आदमी सांस लेते समय ये नहीं सोचता कि मेरे को सांस लेना है. आदमी पानी का गिलास उठाते हुए ये नहीं सोच रहा कि मुझे पानी पीना है और अंदर लेना है. इट बिकम्स अ रिफ्लेक्स. यू स्टार्ट enjoying that recovery, you start enjoying that that phase, you start enjoying everything about life which you have not done while you were under addiction.
He said something very correct. It's not daunting. It is basically what he said. I have to start enjoying recovery.
Yes.
For it to become a process. What happens is that today, for example, I have through my years here in recovery, have recognized the benefit of having a medical fraternity part of our system. to help us go forward. My mind is more tuned to the idea that these people are the ones who can push that person into a 12-step program much easier. Because if he's daunted from the very beginning, oh, I've got withdrawals and I've got this, since that process has been taken care of, this other process may be difficult, but it is not a process that happens throughout their life to be scared about. Because in a little bit of time, the process itself starts to ease out. And then, for example, my first year of recovering from alcoholism and drug addiction was the best year. Not that today is not the best year too, but I enjoyed myself thoroughly. Why did I enjoy myself? Because I was drug-free, alcohol-free, and I had a 12-step program that I was going to. And I was getting freedom because there was no chemical in my body to pull me down. So when I was given a 12-step program, I took it on. And I took it on with gusto. See, my journey continues. My journey through the 12 steps is that I find freedom from all the other aspects that bind me down. I find things I look forward to. I find I've been cocooned in such a good aspect from the 12 steps onwards, too cocooned in a family, too cocooned in a world that is not hostile anymore. A world that I enjoy living in. Can you believe it was the most impossible thing to imagine that the world is a friendly, good place to live in. That is what Recovery 12-step gives me. It gives me the ability to know that, very important, self-respect. It gives me the self-respect, the worthiness to know that, yes, I can enjoy my life. So I don't need people only I don't need to be dependent on somebody or something from the outside to be having a good life. So that is what the 12th step tells me actually, that I am now given the tools of living and a living that is of so much pleasure, actual pleasure, that with a little bit of effort, I have to make the effort to start living in a manner that is, I feel proud of. See, again, he would know since he's in the field, pride is there is no pride in an alcoholic or a drug addict. Yeah. There's no self-respect. Yeah. There is only dikhawa, upar se. There's nothing else. So what does it teach me? It teaches me from the inside, like he said earlier, my soul gets renewed. Or let me put it, that's too much of a big term. My insides, I get a transformation in my insides. It starts to transform into a person who is healthy and who wants to live a good, healthy life without any crutch.
From a medical professional, अगर मुझे किसी को समझाना है कि 12 स्टेप क्या है, तो आप इमेजिन करो कि आप एक डीप खड्डे में गिरे हुए हो और आपको ऊपर निकलने के लिए 12 स्टेप्स हैं।
बिल्कुल।
12 सीढ़ियां हैं।
या।
और जब तक आप 12 सीढ़ियां, 12 स्टेप नहीं चढ़ लोगे, the world is not going to be yours. And once you climb those 12 steps, उसके बाद सारी दुनिया आपकी है। आप पहाड़ में चढ़ो, आप समंदर में जाओ, आप जो मर्जी करो। But until you don't climb, and I am 100% sure, if anybody climbs those 12 steps, when it comes to addiction, I'm 100% sure he's going to have the best of his life.
I've celebrated my 34th year. I'm going to my 35th. So I'm just a young boy. The celebration is what I want to know, that I can celebrate in life. As a using addict or alcoholic, I didn't know what celebration was. I was so depressed, so saddened that this word celebration was too far. I was trying to celebrate and I didn't know how to celebrate. The first birthday, I'm living a genuine life of Naveen. And that's the celebration. कि genuine Naveen बाहर आ रहा है, आ गया है. So when genuine Naveen starts to live, every year my birthdays, like normal birthdays are celebrated, I start to celebrate a new life. By the way, I'm living a new life.
So it is like once you get into the recovery and be sober and you celebrate that sobriety every year, which we call as sobriety birthday. Actually, that is, like Sir rightly said, it's a rebirth. At one point you are born physically in this world, and then you get into this, disease of addiction. Sobriety is almost like a rebirth.
It is. It is.
You are gone. You are not living.
Yeah.
You are like, almost dead because
Yeah.
you don't have a life of yours. You are under the clutches of the addiction. The family issues are there. Job opportunities are gone. Relationships are gone. Financially, you are drained. You are met with a lot of health issues. So once you are into sobriety and recovery, it is a rebirth. You are living a second life. It's like a second inning. And let me tell you, people don't get this second inning. And if you've got it, one must celebrate. One must celebrate sobriety every day.
I'm saying once a year is too little.
Too little.
I would like to do it. I do it personally.
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of people who are doing recovery in their lives, who are living a life of recovery. And whenever I have a chat with them, I say, let's celebrate today.
Yes.
Let's make it the best day of my existence today. And that is what recovery is saying, born again. I'm born again every day actually.
Yeah. Sobriety has to be celebrated.
Yeah,
Recovery
yeah.
has to be celebrated every moment.
Or celebration is something that pushes you with hope. That there's a better future. A future, like in the 12-step program, they have a lovely slogan, the best is yet to come.
Yeah.
That means you're always looking at a bright future.
And so I also believe that when you are celebrating, right, there are a lot of people who look up to you. You are 35 years in, almost 35 years in sobriety recovery now. And when you are celebrating that, I, as a person who is suffering from addiction, I am hopeless right now. I am feeling I cannot get out of it. The family is feeling that ये तो ठीक नहीं हो सकता है कभी भी. And now I'm seeing this person who is celebrating 35th year of sobriety.
Yeah.
How much hopeful I will become, and I would want to step into your shoes.
In fact, this is a very good way of looking at it from the fellowshipping point of view. Because everybody gets inspired. Inspiration is what we get from each other. So when we're all in this road of recovery, walking on the road of recovery, somebody, like he said, who is one day clean or sober, suddenly sees this guy so many years sober. If he can do it,
yes.
I can do it. And that's what we keep telling them. If I could do it, then you can do it. And that is an important message for somebody, like he said, is hopeless.
I am seeing another person coming out and living, and not just living, that okay, he's sober, but he's living to the fullest.
Yeah.
Now, so how much hope I will get, and I would want to do it. So, and in community, we celebrate each other's success, we learn from that, and we, further, have the fire.
This is what he said, is community means we.
Yeah.
I can't do it alone. We need each other. All of us need each other to take support, be inspired, to keep moving forward in the best direction possible.